Kate Huey Burns, and the Washington Free Beacon's Liz Harrington. Liz, how do we begin with you? Donald Trump has been visiting states that have seemed out of reach. Not so much Pennsylvania today. That is doable. But when he spent a good deal of time in Michigan and Wisconsin, states where he trails by 6 or more points, a lot of people have been saying, put your energy to other areas. And his people keep telling me, well, we think we're gaining traction in these states that presumably are out of reach. What do you make of that?
Well, I think their internal polling probably suggests that they have a better shot at these states than the public polls show. And I think when we're looking at these polls, we got to remember it's all about turnout. The polls don't necessarily say what the turnout is going to be. And if you look at the latest national poll where Trump has that 1-point lead, the biggest indicator that it's a problem for Hillary, her enthusiasm has dropped by 8 points in just a matter of days. This has been her problem all along. Voters are not enthusiastic about voting for her and going out there, and especially when you have the news that she's under multiple FBI investigations, that certainly doesn't help. And I think Trump sees an opportunity here. He needs to flip some of these states to have a chance to win the election to begin with. So, and his message resonates in places like Michigan and Pennsylvania. So I think he really sees an opportunity there and has a shot.
Charlie, what do you make of these other reports that, say what you will of how far this FBI renewed probe goes? It's translated into a lot of, money men and women giving money now to Donald Trump, convinced that he has a chance.
And money flowing to Senate races, thinking that the Republicans are likely to keep the Senate. And I think that's an even more telling tell there. I will say this, Neil. What you saw there was a really good speech, and here's why. Before this latest legal issue with the emails came out, where listen, it looks like trouble for Hillary Clinton. Let's be real clear here. Donald Trump was starting to close the gap as Obamacare premiums started to hike dramatically.
Right.
He has economic issues that he can pound away at. Yes, we had decent GDP growth, but far below what we really need to get this country going.
In Pennsylvania, particularly, an issue like that resonates.
And everything is coming together: economics, Obamacare, which is both a social and an economic issue for middle-class Americans, plus the sleaze factor. Man, if he screws this up now, it's kind of hard. He's got the wind at his back. Now, I'm not saying he's going to win. The Electoral College is stacked against him, but damn, he's got the wind at his back right now.
Well, I don't know what's going on, Caitlin. You and I were briefly chatting about it before the show here, that something seismic to me is going on, and I don't know we'll appreciate the magnitude of it, obviously, until Election Day. The easy comparison is 1980, when there was a seismic shift in sentiment away from Jimmy Carter to Ronald Reagan. It helped, of course, that they had their one and only debate but days before the election. But I get that kind of feeling. You?
Well, I think actually this is starting to look more and more like a traditional presidential race, which is quite remarkable given how, wildly uncharacteristic this presidential race has been. We're seeing Republicans coalesce behind their nominee. We are seeing an enthusiasm gap widen a little bit in that ABC poll. I never thought this was a 12-point race for either side. I mean, I think that this is, a 2-3 point race. It has changed here and there. But Charlie brings up a really good point that last week the race was narrowing in the final stretch, and Donald Trump was presented with a couple of different options to capitalize on them. One of them being the Obamacare hikes. I think that is kind of what we're seeing in the polling. I think it will still take a few days to kind of flesh out the FBI
think about that
results.
Ironically, a campaign that has been attacked for being devoid of issues could be decided on, heaven forbid, issues.
Right. I think it's a couple of different things. And then the FBI news, there still are a lot of questions regarding that. But I think overall, it kind of fits neatly into the narrative that Donald Trump is trying to push against Hillary Clinton. And so it comes at a good time for him, and he's capitalizing on that. And having Mike Pence talk specifically about Obamacare today, I think, does well for Republicans, because he can speak to a different group than Donald Trump.
Yeah, I thought it was very effective, the 1-2 punch, or the 2-1 punch, I guess, is the vice presidential candidate introducing the presidential candidate on that issue. What do you think, Charlie?
Listen, I think Pence is a brilliant orator. He He's straight. He's the straight man to Donald's craziness. He gives confidence in the ticket when he speaks. And I will say one other thing that's helping Donald Trump, I think, with undecided voters, and me and Charlie Brady, our statistician here, were just talking about this. Undecided people are going to go into that voting booth and they're going to say, okay, Republicans keep the Senate. As crazy as Donald is, do I potentially want a president that's going to be impeached? I mean, she could be impeached based on this stuff.
That is some noise out there. Liz, real quickly, your final thoughts on that and how much that could affect people's voting.
Absolutely. Going in with 3 ongoing FBI investigations, it certainly doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But if I could just go back to 1980, I think that's exactly right. It's a change year. It's very similar with Reagan. People did not want to admit they liked Reagan, the way he was portrayed in the media. It's very similar with Trump. I think you have a lot of people out there that come, when they get into the election booth, they're going to vote for him.
Yeah, I don't know. There is something weird going on. Yeah, real quick.
One thing I'd point out, though, Clinton has been focused really strongly on the get out the vote effort and voter turnout. And so she's hoping in the last few days that makes a difference here. And that's an area where Trump has been lagging, just to point that aspect out.
That's a great point, too, because he does not have a ground game. Let's be real clear here. And ground game, I think, does matter. It mattered for Barack Obama in the final days of 2012 against Mitt Romney. The ground game just destroyed the Republicans at the end there. So that is a great point.
All right. And it's a great point for Donald Trump to be in a retail establishment in Valley Forge. Yeah. I was just thinking of that, guys, that George Washington had access to those clothes and supplies for his soldiers. He could have wrapped that puppy up a lot earlier. That was then. This is now. Donald Trump trying to take a state that has been out of reach for Republicans for election after election, maybe not so much now.